When everyone thought I suddenly fell to accidentally knock into the goddess and pull her into my arms, I forcibly twisted my body and fell towards the soft childhood sweetheart next to the goddess. But at the critical moment, she raised the watermelon in her hand. The two of us fell to the ground, stunned for 2 or 3 seconds, then quickly pushed each other away to check the watermelon. After confirming the watermelon was fine, she turned back to me awkwardly. "Leon, are you okay?" At that moment, I was completely speechless. Olivia actually only cared about the watermelon in her hand. Unconvinced, I said, "Olivia, is your stupid watermelon really that important?" Damn, she called me by my full name. This was a big deal. The girls' words merged, and the onlookers were stunned. Their strong survival instinct told them this was definitely a tricky question. "You're important. Of course you're important." The onlookers had just mentally given her a thumbs up, but who knew I was also stunned at the time? It was a completely subconscious reaction. I don't know which fearless warrior actually shouted out everyone's thoughts. She looked me up and down with a smile that wasn't a smile, then reached out and pinched my cheek on the soft spot. "Your body is quite honest, though." As soon as she finished speaking, I snatched the watermelon from her hand and walked out of the restaurant without looking back. Olivia was left alone in the restaurant. I'm wronged. I really didn't mean it just now. My brain just short-circuited for a second. Stacy came over at that moment and patted her shoulder. "The first sentence of your answer was pretty good. The latter part was totally unnecessary." Back in the dormitory, if it weren't for that damn dream last night, if I didn't know I was living inside a book, if I weren't that universally disliked villainous male supporting character, today's incident would have been just a small accident. But in the dream, I held on to the right person. The dream is becoming reality. The plot has started. But I am sure I am not Leon from the book. I will never cling to a woman like he did. I will only rely on myself. School starts tomorrow. In the evening, Olivia made an appointment with me to go to Snack Street. Just as I went downstairs, I saw her already waiting at the dormitory entrance. She was like a moving disaster. The outfit was so ugly it hurt my eyes. "Leon, I'm really sorry. I know I was wrong. Please stop being mad. Can you smile?" Looking at the stares from passing students and then at her embarrassing getup, I really wanted to disappear on the spot. Arguing with a little idiot like you is a waste of time. As punishment, you have to bring me breakfast every morning for the next month. "Okay, got it. For you, my Leon, I'm happy to oblige," she said with an exaggerated, brilliant smile. I added more conditions. "First, go to the track and run 2 laps, plus do 20 sit-ups. It's not much, but it's already a big challenge for this girl. You want physical punishment too? Then how about I buy you breakfast for a month and a half instead?" Olivia started bargaining, looking up at me pitifully. I admit it was cute, but paired with her outfit covered in snacks, I really couldn't stand to look at it. "Are you trying to teach me how to do things?" "No, I wouldn't dare. I really wouldn't." Olivia immediately backed down, shrinking her neck. She immediately handed over her snacks to the dormitory auntie and stood at attention. I could hear the undisguised grievance in Olivia's voice. "I'll definitely complete the task." The two of us swept through a bunch of delicious food at the Snack Street before returning to school contentedly. I quickly washed up and lay comfortably on the bed, trying hard to recall last night's dream, and started to review the plot lines. First, bumping into the female lead. Second, library encounter. Third, track meeting. And there's also pursuit that could be considered harassment. The dream was chaotic. My encounters with the female lead were ridiculously numerous. In short, all the coincidences were carefully orchestrated. Thinking about this, I breathed a sigh of relief instead. In the book, the character I'm in tracked the female lead's schedule thoroughly. As long as I don't deliberately arrange things, I have basically no intersection with the female lead, who is in a different class. The chance of meeting is pitifully small. Thinking this, I instantly felt at ease and slept soundly until dawn. The next morning passed in a flash. The first class in the afternoon was PE. Before class, everyone was gathered in the shade of the trees, discussing the election of class cadres that evening. I was chatting with Nathan when my shoulder was suddenly tapped. I turned around and saw Olivia, with her playful grin, smiling brightly at me. "Leon, what a coincidence. Our 2 classes have PE together. This is my childhood friend Olivia." I introduced her to Nathan, who smiled and said hello. Olivia pulled me aside. "Leon, we're running in PE today. Can that count as my morning lap?" "Fine, but increase the sit-ups to 30. "Okay, I'll go back to my team for now. If I have time later, I'll do the sit-ups." If not, I'll do them tonight. Just as Olivia left, a girl named Mia approached. Is that guy in class 4 your boyfriend? Boyfriend? We haven't even considered that yet, I replied. Mia smiled lightly, her eyes on me without concealment. Not boyfriend and girlfriend? Well, that makes things a lot simpler. Nathan and I were chatting near the sports equipment when suddenly a loud shout came from afar. Before I could react, a basketball flew towards me. I just got ready to catch it when a girl suddenly darted out and stood in front of me. That girl lost her balance and stumbled towards me, pushing me to the ground. My palm was scraped. Sophia saw the bloody mess on my palm, and a flicker of pity passed through her cold eyes. What terrible luck. Seriously, bad luck upon bad luck. The track is a high-risk area in campus stories. How could I have forgotten that? What an idiot. Classmate, are you okay? I saw the basketball flying over and didn't think much. Just wanted to keep you from getting hurt. I didn't expect to end up hurting you instead. Let me take you to the school clinic, Nathan said to the girl. Don't you know your own limits? If you hadn't come over, Leon would have just caught the ball himself. Instead, you made it worse by crashing into him with the ball. Good thing he didn't hit his head, or it would have been a disaster. Crowd had already formed. Sophia, who usually didn't like contact with boys, suddenly crouched down to help me up. I opened my eyes wide, scanning the crowd. Where's Olivia from your class? Someone in the crowd shouted. She's not here. She's not here. I'll take you to the clinic. But I didn't want to get involved with her. Struggling to stand on my own, Nathan held me down. Don't be stubborn. The campus is huge. Hopping over by yourself will take forever. Since Sophia is willing to help you over, don't be so awkward. I sighed, thought quickly, and pointed at the outer edge, at a chubby girl who didn't look very heavy and said, Classmate, could you please accompany me to the clinic? Stacy was stunned on the spot, her face instantly turning red. She was at a loss in front of everyone. The campus is too big. I can't find the clinic. So could you help me? Sophia heard what I said and frowned slightly. What's wrong with Leon? Why won't he let me lead the way when I'm right next to him, and instead asks a stranger he's not familiar with? Did I do something wrong? Amidst envious and jealous stares, Stacy led the way for me to the clinic. Then, seeing me walk too slowly, she came over to support me. Sophia, Mia, and a few others followed. Nathan and the others wanted to come too, but I refused them. It wasn't a big deal. A whole crowd was too exaggerated. No need, really no need. Finally arriving at the clinic, Stacy carefully let me lie down on the bed and thoughtfully helped me roll up my sleeves and pant legs. The school doctor saw me, checking me while asking, Oh, poor thing. How did you get hurt so badly? He got hit by a basketball, Mia quickly explained. The school doctor nodded and continued asking, Besides your knees and palms, does anywhere else hurt? A few people were silent. I was completely focused on the pain in my palm and couldn't pay attention to any other pain. Then the school doctor looked at us and said, Let me check you over. Could you classmates please step outside for a moment? After a while, the school doctor finished the exam and started applying medicine. When the cotton ball soaked with antiseptic touched the scraped skin, a sharp pain shot through me. I gritted my teeth, refusing to make a sound, only letting out a muffled grunt when it became unbearable. This stubborn look stunned the female classmates. Stacy gently comforted me, saying, Leon, if it hurts, just yell out. Don't force yourself. The doctor finally finished treating the scrapes and bruises on my knees. Because my hands bore the brunt of the fall, they were wrapped in bandages like two big white steam buns. I need to apply medicine to his back. Should you all consider stepping out again? The school doctor looked at them and teased. Hearing that medicine needed to be applied to the back, the 3 girls blushed and obediently retreated. In no time, the school doctor called them back in and earnestly instructed, In the future, be more careful when playing sports. You can't disregard your classmate's safety just for a game. Look at this injury. How is he supposed to eat and write for the next few days? Also, the wounds can't get wet for a few days. You all keep an eye on him. Come back in 2 days to change the dressing. Finally, the school doctor looked at me and said, Classmate, I've got your medicine. Remember to spray your knees and back every day, don't forget. After giving the instructions, she waved us off. Then Mia rushed to say, Stacy, you've worked hard. Let me take over and help Leon. She reached out her hand. Stacy, being simple, thought it was just politeness and waved her hand, saying, I'm not tired. It's no problem. Sophia, standing by, keenly noticed something off about me today but wasn't sure if it was her imagination, so she didn't interrupt, letting the two of them argue. Just then, Olivia came rushing over in a huff. Seeing me in such a pitiful state, she was heartbroken. Then, looking at Sophia and Mia nearby, she snorted coldly, then gently said to me, "Leon, let me help you back to the classroom." Before Olivia finished, she stood by my bed and reached out to support me. "Thank you, classmate. I'd rather let her help me. It's more convenient," I said apologetically to Stacy with a smile. Back in the classroom, I sat down in my seat. Not long after, Mia, blushing, walked over and slammed a cup filled with hot water on my desk. Her face was completely red. She didn't dare say a word and ran back to her seat. I looked at the cup of hot water and was dumbfounded. I knew she meant well, and I was indeed a bit thirsty. But in my current state, it was even hard to go to the bathroom, let alone drink hot water. Sure enough, no matter the problem, it can always be solved with drink more hot water, right? Finally, after my afternoon classes ended, I saw a message from Olivia asking if she should bring food. I definitely didn't want to get surrounded at the cafeteria entrance, so I replied, "You bring food back for me. I'll wait for you at the campus square." I waited until most people had left, limped to the restroom, and then slowly made my way to the campus square. Olivia arrived just then, carrying 2 lunchboxes. We started eating on the stone table. As Olivia ate, she said, "If you need anything these days, just tell Grace. She's my best friend in your class." I ate my food calmly and said, "It's nothing much. My knees will be fine in a couple of days." Then Olivia said, "Oh, by the way, my mom asked how you're adapting as an exchange student and how school is going. I didn't tell her about your injury. But I heard from her that a client nearby happens to be at our school, and they're asking if you're still taking jobs." Then Olivia glanced at my bandaged hands and remarked, "I think you should take a break. It's not like we're short on money right now." I hesitated for a moment and casually asked, "Is it someone from our school? I don't seem to remember." "Yeah, it is from our school. They contacted us before, but we were still in North City then, and since it was too far, I didn't reach out to you. Now that they heard you came back as an exchange student, they asked my mom to make the connection." I didn't say anything, just stretched out my hand. "Olivia, send me the client's information." As she spoke, she sent the file over. "There is, but my mom also doesn't recommend you take it right now." After browsing the file, I said, "This client is good quality, low demands but high pay. We've hit the jackpot with an angel client. I'll take it." Olivia hesitated for a long time. "Leon, are you sure you don't want to rest for a while before taking another job? Do you have to take it right now? You're really obsessed with money." After the afternoon classes ended, I didn't rush to leave. Nathan stayed behind to wait for me. I was waiting for the crowd to thin out when Olivia came over. I didn't expect Mia and Sophia to follow behind her. Sophia thought I was injured because of her, and she couldn't just leave me alone. But I got a headache when I saw them. This time, there were people coming and going on campus. Olivia was holding me with 2 beautiful ladies next to me. It was like a drama with a lot of attention. This scene is so miserable. It's a perfect match. The more beautiful the opening scene is, the more cruel the ending scene is, the more miserable it is. I was being held by Olivia, and I couldn't wait to faint on the spot. When I thought about my tragic ending, and the unknowing ladies around me, I felt that my life was so dark. When I came back to the dormitory, I put the business card I got from Olivia on the table. The other party agreed immediately. They also made an appointment with me to meet the day after tomorrow and inspect each other. After I finished my work, I took a breath and planned to relax. But I didn't expect that the posts posted at 8 o'clock in the evening were blown up. Someone posted a picture of me falling down. It blew up the whole school in an instant. My forehead was broken in the photo. The person who took the picture of my half-covered face said, "Don't worry. The post blew up the pot in an instant. There was a crazy salt lick." I declare that this is my new idol. This looks like a candidate for the school's heartthrob. Oh my God, this broken feeling is so touching. There was also a reflective personality flash. There are a group of thirsty people upstairs. Can't you see this kind of little trick? That's what it looks like. It's far worse than young Master Damien. There were also passers-by who didn't want to get involved. The sour smell upstairs is almost out of the screen. The new students listen to the family background. It's quite ordinary. Our young Master Damien's parents are the top-ranked people in North City, and he and Sophia are childhood sweethearts. How can our exchange student compare with young Master Damien? After class the next day, everyone was chatting in the classroom. Suddenly, in a moment, a male classmate led a group of people storming into the classroom. "Who is Leon?" I was lazily holding a lollipop and absorbed in my phone when I was abruptly interrupted. I frowned, stood up, and asked, "Who are you? What do you want?" The guy looked me over several times. So you're Leon. You are indeed quite handsome, but still not as good as me. He walked straight up to me, curled his lips, and smiled. My name is Cole. You're the new transfer student. How come I've never heard of you in our circles? Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow. Interesting. He's trying to feel me out, see if I have a powerful backer. In my memory, I only recall him being a late-game boss. He was also a big shot in North City, but he was always overshadowed by Damien, which was kind of pitiful. So, Oh no, Cole is looking for Leon. Grace was chatting with Mia and Sophia when she heard this. Furious, she rushed back to the classroom. Olivia also heard the news and came over, standing by my side. Then, I replied nonchalantly, "Oh, my family is indeed poor. We can only afford lollipops. And you're right, my family isn't some top-tier wealthy family either." Hearing my words, his face showed shock. Damn it. How can this guy be so cunning, saying he's poor so confidently? How am I supposed to continue this conversation? He suppressed his surprise, cleared his throat lightly. No, I'm not worthy, Cole thought to himself upon hearing my answer. Dude, are you stealing my lines? The word not worthy should be mine to say. Why aren't you following the script? So annoying. I hate people like you who lack self-awareness. You're supposed to act like a protagonist. Not getting the answer he wanted, Cole pressed on. Do you know who Damien and Sophia are in North City? They grew up together, childhood sweethearts, perfectly matched. A match made in heaven. Before he could finish, I cut in. What a coincidence. I'm actually shipping them as a couple too. Sophia, who had just arrived, heard this and frowned slightly with a light sigh, feeling wronged inside. There's nothing between Damien and me. Why does Leon see it like this? Cole just stared at me with a dark expression. Xander, who was behind Cole, seeing Cole losing ground, grew anxious. This new transfer student is surprisingly hard to deal with. I have to help Cole. Xander cleared his throat lightly, looked at me, and said, "You know what's good for you. There's no chance between you and Miss Sophia." I couldn't help but laugh at his words, then said self-deprecatingly, "Of course not. I have no family background. I'm not a good match for a young lady. Apart from this handsome face and a brain that only knows how to study, I truly have nothing good." The crowd erupted. My deskmate, Zach, secretly gave me a thumbs up. Grace looked at me with a dreamy expression. I thought he was a cold and aloof prince, but he's actually a bit mischievous. I love it. This is awesome. I knew no one could get the better of him, she said. Sophia looked at me with a resentful gaze, as if saying, "There's nothing between Damien and me, Leon. Please don't misunderstand." Cole was a bit surprised. He was at a disadvantage. He could only smile awkwardly and say, "You don't have to put yourself down like that. I just came to make friends with you." I replied with a sincere face. "Huh? Really? Seeing you storming like that, I thought you came to settle a score? Your way of making friends is quite unique." Hearing this, Cole stepped back, thinking to himself, he really is not simple. His level is too high. I was too hasty today. I thought he'd be easy to deal with, but I didn't expect his tongue to be so sharp. Then he politely curled his lips and said, "You're overthinking it. Class is about to start. Nice to meet you all. We'll be going." The group came in aggressively and left dejectedly. After they left, Zach immediately patted my shoulder. "Wow, Leon, that was amazing. You're so awesome. I was so afraid you'd get bullied by him," he said. Olivia also came over and said, "Nice. I knew you wouldn't get bullied. But why did he come looking for trouble with you?" I glanced at her, handed her my cup, and said, "Joke's on him if he thinks he can bully me. Go get me some water." Lu Jingyan, sitting at the back, suddenly spoke up. I might know why. Everyone looked at her with anticipation. She explained, "Last night, everyone on the forum was praising Leon. You might not know, but Cole is the perpetual second best, always being suppressed by Damien. He can't stand seeing Leon being so popular among our classmates right after arriving, so he felt uncomfortable and came to cause trouble. Our school is really lively," someone said. "I think so too. Cole probably feels threatened by Leon's presence. He was already the eternal second best. Now he might not even hold that position anymore," another added. "So even you guys have this much drama?" "That's an eye-opener," Mia from the next class teased Sophia beside her. "Sophia, your Leon is even shipping you and Damien as a couple." Sophia glanced at her and sighed, thinking to herself, there really is nothing between Damien and me, but everyone has assumed we'd end up together since we were kids. I used to be too lazy to explain. but hearing it from Leon today made me feel really uncomfortable. My family is very open-minded. As long as the person has good character, that's enough. But what Leon said just means he thinks I only like men from good families. Leon, you're so annoying. I'm clearly not that kind of person, so why are you misunderstanding me like this? The next day when I woke up, I could clearly feel my knees were much better. I had been so frustrated all day yesterday. Today I could finally walk upright again. I had made an appointment with the client to meet at the restaurant, and Olivia came with me. If you feel this person is difficult to handle, don't take the job. We have so many university courses. You can just study hard and earn scholarship money instead, she said. I nodded. I know what you mean, but the client is also at the university. It's convenient for me. Besides, you know how well I do in my studies, don't you? After saying that, I sent a message to the client. I've arrived at the restaurant. Second floor, spicy hot pot section. Third row on the right, as you enter. Okay, coming soon, came the reply. I looked towards the entrance, and sure enough, a chubby female classmate walked over. I immediately waved, and the classmate came over. The female classmate's face flushed bright red the instant she saw me. Ava could barely even look at me. She almost never talked to male classmates. Oh my god, it's him, the transfer student everyone's been talking about lately. He's really handsome. But now such a handsome male classmate was sitting right across from her, and there was no disgust in his eyes, so she became even more nervous. While Ava was looking at me, I was also observing her. When Ava felt my gaze, a feeling of irritation and embarrassment suddenly surged inside her, an indescribable discomfort. She held back tears, looked down, and thought to herself, my parents are lying to me. They said this professional weight loss coach has a great reputation, is the same age, and even if I can't lose weight, I can make a friend. But a male classmate this handsome can hardly be called a professional weight loss coach. My parents are clearly trying to humiliate me by sending him here. She was already regretting it. Meanwhile, I had no idea what she was thinking, so I followed the standard procedure and introduced myself first. Hello, classmate. My name is Leon. I'm here at your parents' request to help you with weight loss. What's your name? Ava replied blankly. Hello, Leon. My name is Ava. I nodded and continued. Ava, have you tried to lose weight before? Ava's brain was no longer working properly, so she just followed my lead and replied, I've tried dieting, exercising, and taking pills. I tried everything. Sorry, I have a question. Were you able to stick with the exercise? Olivia interrupted and asked. Ava only then noticed her. Seeing the girl's beautiful face, she felt a pang of jealousy, and finally answered, No. Olivia nodded and said nothing. I said, seriously, losing weight through dieting alone is absolutely not the way. Exercise is the main component. At most, I'll accompany you in your workouts and monitor your diet. If we sign a contract, you have to listen to me, exercise, and get fit. Can you do that? Ava said resentfully. If I could stick with it, I wouldn't be in this situation. I lack self-discipline, which is why I came to you. I knew this logic too, so I curled my lips and said, My role is to encourage and supervise you. The weight loss process is painful in itself. If you're willing, I'll accompany you to the track for workouts. Losing weight alone is a lonely and difficult journey. With us by your side, it'll be much better. Hearing that someone would run and play badminton with her, Ava was thrilled. That would be wonderful. I've never had any friends at this school. Now that someone's with me, I finally feel accepted. Seeing her deep in thought, I changed the subject. Of course, if you're not that willing, we won't force you. I'm just... Before I could finish, I heard Ava's voice. I agree. After we reached an agreement, we arranged to eat together from then on, and I also scheduled Ava to do some exercise during her free periods. The three of us had lunch together, and then went back to our classrooms. That evening, Ava returned to the dormitory. Lying in bed, she saw a message from her mother. Sweetie, you met the weight loss coach today, right? Mom, why didn't you tell me it was a boy? She replied. Wendy said, Does it matter if it's a boy or a girl? Don't be shy, sweetie. I heard from others that this young man is quite good at helping people lose weight. Let's just give it a try, it won't hurt. Just think, if you really slim down, you can find a handsome boyfriend later. Wouldn't that be great? Ava felt a mix of shyness and frustration when she saw this. Suddenly, her phone lit up. Ava, do you have any favorite sports? Ava was startled. She rarely got messages at night. No, I don't like sports at all. I just love lying down. After seeing her message, I thought for a moment and replied, How about we try badminton, volleyball, and table tennis one by one? Pick the one you hate the least among the ones you don't like. Ava had mild social anxiety and didn't know what to say, so she planned to ignore it. Then she saw my message. Breakfast together tomorrow. Meet you at the cafeteria. The next morning, Olivia, Ava, and I met at the cafeteria on time. We each got our own food and sat down. At that moment, I looked at Ava's tray and sighed. Ava said pitifully, "What's wrong?" My previous weight loss coach said I could eat whatever I wanted for breakfast. I nodded and confirmed, "You're right. Eating breakfast on time is a good habit. It's fine to eat a little more right now." Ava relaxed. The three of us ate without noticing the stares from other students. One student whispered to her companion, "Why is the new transfer student eating with her? Do they know each other?" "I don't know. That's strange." "Since when does Leon have friends like that?" her companion replied. I ignored their chatter, but when Ava reached for her second bun, I suddenly said, "Ava, could you spare us one of those buns?" Ava looked surprised and confused. "Sure, but why?" I smiled at her and said, "We haven't tried the buns from this stall yet. Seeing you eat them so happily made us crave some. Can we have one?" Olivia was already very familiar with my tactics and cooperatively nodded. Ava was secretly pleased because no male classmate had ever asked her for anything before, so she handed over the bun. I quickly split the bun, gave half to Olivia, took a sip of porridge, and praised, "Ava, you have great taste. They really are delicious." After breakfast, the three of us went to our classrooms. Olivia followed Ava to her class. Ava was confused and asked, "Why are you following me?" Olivia grinned and said, "Leon asked me to clear out the snacks from your drawer, so I came with you." Ava was a bit reluctant at first. "You're being this strict right from the start? I eat something every day after morning exercise. If you take all my snacks away, what if I get hungry?" Olivia knew exactly what she was thinking. "Losing weight is your own business. We're just here to assist. Snacks aren't good for weight control, right?" "Think about it." Ava pursed her lips, thought for a moment, and said, "All right, come with me." The two went to her classroom. Olivia took all of Ava's snacks and also found some drinks in her drawer. She was about to take those too, but Ava quickly stopped her. "Could you leave the drinks for now? I don't like plain water. Taking everything away at once will make me anxious." Olivia didn't push it. "Fine. I'll leave 2 bottles of drink for you, but I'm taking the rest." After saying that, she walked to the door, then turned back and said playfully, "One more thing. Leon also asked me to go to your dormitory tonight to collect the snacks there. So don't forget to take me to your dorm tonight." Ava stood there stunned, with a helpless expression. Just then, Abby rushed over to Ava. "How do you know Leon? How come you had breakfast together? Do you have his contact info? Can I add him on WeChat?" Ava was startled by Abby. She frowned, feeling a bit unhappy, and stammered, "He's here to help me lose weight," making up that excuse. She had heard about someone going to Leon's classroom to humiliate him yesterday, although he didn't suffer much. If word got out now that Leon was working as a part-time weight loss coach, would people look down on him? She knew her peers too well. None of them were easy to deal with. But when Abby heard this, she got even more excited. "Can he help me lose weight too?" The girls around her burst out laughing. "Look at her figure. She's already as skinny as a stick, and she wants to lose weight? That's hilarious," one of them said. Ava was shocked. "Oh my god, the world is this competitive now? If someone as skinny as a stick is trying to lose weight, where does that leave me?" A male classmate snickered. "Abby, with your figure, if you lose any more weight, are you planning to fly away? I think you're less interested in losing weight and more interested in checking out Leon." Abby blushed a little. "I don't want to lose weight. I want to tone up. How about we work out together? We can keep each other company." Ava muttered to herself, "It's up to him," waving her hand dismissively to appear generous. But inside she was thinking, "Please don't agree, Leon. I really don't want one more person to steal your attention." Just then, the bell rang and everyone went back to their seats for class. After class, I saw that my knees were almost healed, so I decided to go for a campus run. Meanwhile, Ava finished her run, drenched in sweat, and walked into the campus convenience store. She bought an ice cream and some other snacks, paid, and quickly left the store. As she stepped off the stairs, she vaguely heard someone calling her. "Hey." At first she thought she misheard. What male classmate would call her? Then she heard it again. "Ava!" She turned around and saw me, along with another male classmate she didn't recognize. Her face instantly turned bright red, and she stood there frozen, unable to react. How strange. Why do I feel so guilty, like I've been caught doing something wrong when I just went to buy snacks? I felt a little smug inside. I knew she'd come to the store and get caught by me. I stepped forward with a playful smile, crossed my arms, and shook my head dramatically. Ava, you can't lose weight like this. Then I noticed the ice cream in her hand and raised an eyebrow. Eating pretty well, huh? You can have ice cream. Ava was so embarrassed she didn't know where to put her hands. I didn't stand on ceremony. I quickly stepped forward and took the snacks from her, then handed her 3 cartons of milk. She looked at the milk, dissatisfied and upset. Looking at me pitifully, I smiled. You ate a lot this morning. It's only been 2 classes. You're not really hungry. If you're hungry, drink milk. I gave you 3 cartons, so I'm not starving you. Let's start by replacing your snack habit with milk, and we'll take it slow. She looked at the ice cream, then at me, sensing my good intentions. She reluctantly nodded. Fine. If I'm hungry, I'll drink milk. With that, we went back to our classrooms. I waved and said, Ava, thanks for the ice cream. I won't be polite. You've already taken it. What else can I say? I didn't even get a single bite of my snacks, she replied. On the way back to class, Zach asked me, Leon, is that the classmate you're helping lose weight? This is going to be tough. She's got a lot to lose. It'll take a long time. I took a bite of the ice cream and sighed contentedly. I know. We'll take it slow. Haste makes waste. I knew weight loss was a long-term process. First, we had to correct Ava's snacking habits, then gradually reduce the portions of her lunch and dinner, combined with moderate exercise. Even if she didn't lose much weight, at least she developed good eating habits, which would lay a solid foundation for controlling her weight later. After afternoon classes, I made an appointment with Ava to meet at the track. The afternoon temperature was still pleasant, and some girls were walking on the track. This was a sight Ava had never seen before. She had hardly ever been to the track. Compared to walking on the track, she preferred staying in her dorm or classroom, eating snacks, and reading novels. We stood in a corner of the track, not far from the pull-up bars and other fitness equipment. Seeing Ava's dazed expression, I chuckled and said, I hurt my hand a couple of days ago, so I can't play badminton with you. Today we'll just do some simple exercises, okay? She nodded. Now roll your shoulders to warm up. Next, 70 sit-ups. Ava breathed a sigh of relief upon hearing this, thinking to herself, that's not bad. 70 is doable barely. At least I won't embarrass myself in front of him. After stretching, she obediently started doing sit-ups. I sat down against a wall and watched her exercise quietly. After a while, she clapped her hands and stood up. Seeing the sweat on Ava's face, I nodded approvingly. Done? Not bad. She kept fanning herself with her hand to cool down. I smiled gently and said, Ava, let's rest for a bit, then do 70 more squats, okay? She yelped at that, then complained, More? I nodded, amused. She steeled herself and said, Fine, give me 3 minutes to catch my breath. After resting, Ava started the next round of exercise. By the time she counted to 52, she could barely hold on. Her legs were sore and swollen, and her body felt heavy. I can't do it anymore. I'm too tired. I really can't keep going. What should I do? I want to give up so badly. She glanced at me cautiously, bit her lip, and continued thinking, I can't give up now. I don't want him to laugh at me. I'll push through. With that stubborn determination, she struggled to repeat the squats. Seeing her determined, stubborn expression, I raised an eyebrow, but didn't stop her. I just asked during one of her repetitions, Ava, how many squats have you done? She replied sullenly, 59. My slightly husky voice came from behind. Only 10 more. Is this your limit? She didn't answer, just frowned and sped up. Finally, she finished. All right, that's enough for now. Let's go eat, I said, checking the time. We went to the cafeteria together. Ava was exhausted and desperately wanted to fill her depleted body with good food. She went to the counter and bought a lot of food, making several trips back and forth until she had everything she wanted, then sat down. She saw me quietly sitting at the table, playing on my phone. She looked confused. Why aren't you getting food? Don't tell me you're dying too. Are even guys this competitive now? I put down my phone and gave her a warm smile. Of course not. I want to eat more so I can grow taller. She blinked, then suddenly realized something, and her eyes turned red. Oh no, shouldn't I be buying him food? He's my coach now. What was I thinking? Feeling awkward and regretful, she quickly stood up. What do you want to eat? I'll get it for you. I had no idea what she was imagining. I looked at her, pointed at her spicy hot pot, and asked, Ava, how much was your hot pot? She thought I wanted to eat it, so she answered, 42 yen. Looks good, right? I think it'll taste great. I nodded, pulled her hot pot over to myself, and said, you shouldn't eat hot pot at night if you just exercised. I'll eat this. Ava felt a bit down, but she didn't dare object. She quickly finished her rice and started on her fried rice. Ava, next time, don't make the hot pot too spicy, I suddenly said in a slightly hoarse voice. She looked at me and saw beads of sweat on my forehead, and I was coughing now and then. She felt guilty. Oh no, I shouldn't have ordered such spicy food. I feel bad for him. Hesitantly, she pushed her untouched watermelon juice over to me. I took the juice, drank it, and then habitually commented, and don't put too many meatballs. Also, the noodles you added, there's too much. I couldn't finish it all. Hearing this, Ava's guilt disappeared, and she even felt a little schadenfreude. She reached out her hand as if to say, if you have the guts, don't drink it. Give me back my watermelon juice. The two of us bickered playfully while eating. After Ava returned from clearing her tray, she noticed a transfer notification on her phone. She looked at me, confused. Why did you transfer money to me? I put my phone away and said as we walked out, I took your snacks this morning, so I'm not giving those back. And tonight's meal money, I'm transferring it to you together. Ava waved her hands dismissively. No need. I understand. You're doing it for my own good. Seeing her earnest look, I couldn't help teasing her. From now on, if I catch you buying snacks, I'll confiscate them. And I suggest you be more mindful. Next time I see you buying too much, I'll cut you off again. You've already taken so much from me, and you're still being this strict? Ava complained, feeling wronged. We reached the stairs, and I reminded her, rest for an hour, then I'll wait for you downstairs. We'll go to the track and run 4 laps. Then you can rest. I'm off. Bye. Ava felt her vision go dark at that. An hour later, the three of us met again at the track. Olivia also wanted to run, so she joined us. She and Ava ran together while I sat on the bleachers, watching their bags. After about 15 minutes, they finished their workout and headed back to the dorm together. Ava noticed Olivia following her and asked tiredly, why are you following me? To confiscate your snacks. Remember what I said this morning? Leon told me to take your snacks away. Oh my god, that's so cruel. Even the dorm snacks aren't safe? Ava shook her head defiantly. I don't have any snacks. They're all in the classroom, and you already took them. Olivia looked at her with a half smile. Save it. Nobody's going to believe that. Come on, don't drag this out. I'm in a hurry to get back to my game. With that, she pushed Ava into the dorm. When they got there, Ava's roommate wasn't in, so Olivia searched through Ava's drawers and bookcases, and sure enough, she found some snacks. Olivia hummed triumphantly. These are my spirit animals. Those boxes of chocolate were brought from abroad by my dad. Watching this handsome guy and pretty girl, Ava muttered to herself, they're both thieves. Olivia grabbed a plastic bag, tossed the snacks in, and happily said to Ava, all right, I'm off. Then she swaggered out with her loot. Ava watched her go with a mournful look and muttered, you're all demons. What kind of people are these? Soon after, her roommate Lily came back, followed by Abby. Abby's eyes lit up when she saw Ava. Hey Ava, can you share Leon's contact info with me? I heard you guys were at the track this afternoon. I want to work out with you two, okay? She's really persistent, this girl. Even though I'd been tortured by Leon's training all day and my image of him was a bit tarnished, I still didn't want to be the one to introduce Abby to Leon. Why are you asking me? Just ask him yourself, Ava said. Abby wouldn't let it go. Come on, you can just say it for me. I just want to be friends. So, how is he up close? Is he really gentle? Ava didn't want to gossip behind his back, so she picked up a towel and changed the subject. He's okay. I'm going to take a shower. Abby washed Ava's back and stomped her foot in frustration. Damn it. Who does she think she is? She just met Leon a little earlier than me. What's there to be so arrogant about? Ava, if you won't introduce me, I'll find my own way. That night, Ava was lying in bed when she saw another transfer notification from me, this time for a larger amount. Tomorrow I want to try some German chocolate. Also, remember to massage your arms and legs while lying down. They'll probably hurt tomorrow. Ava replied mournfully. I'm dead. I continued. Keep up the good work tomorrow. You did great today. Ava couldn't help but smile when she saw that message. She thought about her past weight loss attempts. The longest she'd lasted was a week before getting unbearably irritated. Her mother had even tried to supervise her strictly, but she'd become more and more irritable over time. She wasn't sure how long she could stick with it this time, but she hoped she could persevere. Thinking these thoughts, Ava drifted off to sleep. The next morning, as expected, her arms and legs were sore and painful. When she got out of bed, she nearly tripped and fell. Ava miserably made her way to the classroom. I hate weight loss. Who invented weight loss anyway? It's so hateful. Suddenly, I feel fine the way I am. I really don't want to lose weight anymore. Just as she was feeling down, her phone lit up. Ava opened it and saw a message from me. Day 2 of weight loss. Don't give up. Keep pushing through, no matter how hard it gets. Ava instantly deflated like a punctured balloon. She hung her head and slowly shuffled out. What else can I do? I'll just have to make do. If I give up on the second day, everyone will laugh at me. I don't want Leon to look down on me. And so she muddled through the morning. At lunch, after Ava bought her food, I very naturally took away the rice and the Lanzhou beef noodles next to it. Seeing how much food she'd bought, what else could I do? I had to help her eat it. Suddenly, I thought of something and asked, Ava, what do you usually do on Saturdays? Ava had no idea what I was planning, so she blinked and said, It depends. Sometimes I go home. Why? I took a sip of lemonade and continued. Is your home in this city? She nodded. Yeah, it's in this city, over in Jade Garden. Olivia, knowing what I was up to, asked, Ava, is your home near the city center library? Ava shook her head, then nodded. I don't really get it. Shaking and nodding at the same time? I've never been to the city center library, but I think there's one on Wutong Road downtown. I nodded knowingly. Olivia smiled. Perfect. Saturday and Sunday, you're coming with us to the city center library to read. How about it, Ava? I looked at Ava. Can you make it? Ava said weakly. Do I have to? I'm kind of tired and wanted to sleep in at home. I shook my head, rejecting her idea. No. Without our supervision on Saturday and Sunday, I'm afraid you'll let loose and eat too much. If you come out, we can read together, have lunch together, and it'll be easier to keep track of your intake, Ava complained. You're really something. You supervise me on weekends too? You're way too dedicated. I smiled and took another sip of lemonade, modestly saying, Thanks for the compliment. It's all thanks to money. Olivia looked at my money-grubbing expression and couldn't help but agree. Then she said to Ava, So it's settled. City Center Library, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Ava was shocked. Settled? I didn't agree to anything. The three of us chatted while eating when suddenly 2 girls sat down at our table. They acted as if they knew Ava, greeting her warmly. Oh, what a coincidence, Ava. Ava turned and saw it was Abby and Jasmine from her class. She reluctantly grunted in acknowledgement and looked down, staying quiet. Such a handsome classmate having lunch with you and you didn't even introduce him? Ava, that's a bit unfair, isn't it? One of them said. I heard this and looked up at them. Olivia, on the other hand, didn't say anything. Ava wiped her mouth with a napkin before introducing us. This is Abby and Jasmine, my classmates. Before Ava could introduce us to them, Abby was already looking at me and said, I know who you are. You're the new exchange student, Leon. You've been pretty famous lately. Hi, my name is Abby. Upon hearing her name, my heart skipped a beat. Abby. If I remember correctly, she's character number 5 in this book. Initially, she was my admirer, and she persistently caused trouble for Damien on my behalf. Later, she saw my true nature and left North City to study abroad. I've been too relaxed these past few days. If she hadn't said her name, I'd almost forgotten I was the villainous male lead. I haven't done anything, so why is Abby approaching me now? It's a bit annoying. No matter what I thought, I still greeted her politely. Hello, classmate. Ava said you're helping her lose weight. I was wondering if I could join you guys. I studied her carefully, then frowned. You're already skinny enough. Do you really need to lose more? That wouldn't be healthy. Abby blushed at my words. He's so handsome. Even more handsome than I imagined. The celebrities I've seen since childhood can't compare to Leon. I definitely made the right choice coming here today. Feeling shy, she didn't dare look me in the eye and said nervously, I want to build muscle, but I don't have much self-control. Can I work out with you guys? I didn't want to be around Abby, and I didn't want Leon paying too much attention to anyone else. Abby is so annoying. So annoying. I didn't want to get involved with any of the book characters, so I politely declined. For building muscle, you should probably consult a professional at a gym. Sorry, I'm not very experienced in that area. Abby looked disappointed, and since she wasn't yet a fully mature adult, she couldn't hide her expression very well. Leon, can I add you on WeChat? It was strange. I always had guys with comparable family backgrounds chasing after me, and I handled them effortlessly. But Leon was different. He was always distant with me, almost as if he was trying to stay away. That only made me more interested in him. I looked at him, feeling a bit reluctant to be harsh. But I eventually shook my head. Then I saw Abby look down, looking even more pitiful. Jasmine was surprised. The Chen family was one of the most prestigious families in North City. Even if people didn't like Abby, they'd still be friendly with her. This guy's pretty bold. How does he have the nerve to reject her so directly? Who gave him the courage? Leon, why won't you add Abby? Jasmine asked curiously. Ava was also curious. She thought he'd prefer a tall, beautiful girl like Abby. So why did he refuse? She really didn't understand. Without looking up, I said flatly, because I'm afraid she might fall for me. The air suddenly went silent. Olivia choked on her lemonade and spat it out. Sorry. Our Leon is a bit too blunt. That's not what he meant. Jasmine had never met such a confident and unique guy before. He made such a compelling argument that she found herself speechless. At this point, I was feeling a bit anxious, afraid they'd ask even more awkward questions. I quickly stood up, cleared my tray, and said to Abby and the others, "We're done. We'll head off first. You guys enjoy your meal." The three of us left. On the way, Olivia teased me. Not bad, Leon. You've only been here a short time and you've already got a confession. But you rejected her pretty directly. I glanced at her and said flatly, "That wasn't a confession. I just refused to add her on WeChat. You're overthinking it." Olivia sighed and thought to herself, does this guy have no idea how attractive he is? Then whose pile of love letters in my bag are these? Are they from ghosts? Ava heard our conversation and said carefully, Abby is a nice person, and her family background is good. Wouldn't rejecting her like that. Although she secretly disliked Abby, she had to admit Abby was a decent person. Given her family status, what if Abby used her power to make trouble for him? I heard them but didn't want to respond, so I just grunted a couple of times. Then I changed the subject and reminded Ava, "Don't forget the library tomorrow." With that, I went back to my classroom. Little did I know, word had already spread that Abby had been rejected. After lunch, I went back to class and checked my phone. My sister's husband, Ryan, was calling. I answered and heard him say, "Leon, if you don't have class this afternoon, come home with Olivia for dinner. I'll come pick you up." I quickly replied, "No need, Ryan. Olivia and I will just rent electric scooters and head back." Ryan said, "I may not drive a fancy car, but picking you up myself gives you some face, doesn't it?" I sighed. "Ryan, didn't you say we shouldn't be competitive?" Ryan hesitated. "But other kids get picked up, and you two would just be on scooters." I immediately replied, "No, you're overthinking it. The campus isn't that bad. My classmates are pretty easy to get along with." Ryan was silent for a moment on the other end. I pressed on. "Besides, it's rush hour. Traffic is terrible. We'll take the scooters and probably get home faster than if you drove." Only then did Ryan give up. "All right, you and Olivia be careful on the road. Message me when you get home." "Okay, don't worry," I said, then hung up. I had just sat back down when I looked up and saw Zach staring at me with a gossipy expression. I was confused. "What's wrong? Why are you looking at me like that?" Zach took a sip of his drink and grinned. "I heard someone got confessed to at lunch today." Yeah, we all know," Grace chimed in. Zach and Grace started analyzing the situation. "Abby's pretty and has a lively, cheerful style. She has a lot of guys chasing her too." Grace nodded in agreement. Then Zach continued, "But you actually rejected her, Leon. Is your heart made of stone? How could you say no to such a lively girl?" I just laughed and said nothing. Zach looked me over and teased, "Though I guess you do have the right to be picky. Look at that face, that body. You definitely have the goods." I rolled my eyes at him. "All right, shut up. You talk too much." Grace and a few other girls had wanted to hear the gossip, but when they didn't hear what they wanted, they all scattered. Finally, afternoon classes ended. Since it was the weekend, everyone was in high spirits and made plans to go out. Olivia messaged me saying she was going out with friends too. Zach and Grace also wanted to avoid rush hour traffic, so the three of us went out for a walk. After a while, Zach and Grace said they had to leave. I said goodbye to them and went to find Olivia. I spotted her in a boutique up ahead. As I walked in, Olivia saw me and smiled. I went to buy a few cups of milk tea and came back. When I returned, Olivia saw me, walked over, and looped her arm through mine cheerfully. "Leon, let's go home." She looked really happy, her eyes shining. I handed her the milk tea and said, Here, share these with your friends. While Olivia was handing out the milk tea, I noticed Sophia and Grace were there too. I hadn't looked closely at Sophia before. I only knew she was the school beauty. Now, as I handed over the tea, I had to admit she was a truly outstanding girl. Her waist was slender, her skin fair. Just standing there, she drew everyone's attention. She was simply beautiful. No wonder she was the school beauty. Sophia noticed my gaze, turned, and looked at me. I smiled warmly and turned to help Olivia hand out the drinks. Olivia introduced me to a few girls, and we exchanged greetings. Then I casually glanced at Olivia's hair and said in surprise, "Olivia, did you buy more hair ties again?" That one sentence made all the girls look at Olivia. I looked at her helplessly. "Seriously, you have a whole drawer full of hair ties. I even have several in my pocket. You can't possibly use them all. Besides, hair ties are just for tying your hair. Your old ones aren't broken, so why buy new ones?" Olivia was furious at my words. She stomped her foot, then kicked me and snapped, "Mind your own business. I don't need you telling me what to do. I have my pride." She turned her head so I could see, then pouted and said, "I like them, and I want to buy them. You can't control me. It's like how you buy skins for your games. Do you ever complain about having too many skins? Besides, you buy skins too, and I never say anything. So, mind your own business, mister." I kept quiet, only daring to think to myself, you do say things, and you say plenty of them. Olivia snorted when I didn't reply. Then we all headed out, as everyone was done shopping. At the entrance, they called their drivers to pick them up. Soon their drivers arrived, and we waved goodbye. Finally, only Mia and Grace were left. One was waiting for her family to pick her up, and the other wasn't in a hurry to leave. Mia asked us, "How are you two getting home? My family's coming to pick me up in a bit. Want a ride?" "No, thanks. We'll just take electric scooters," I said. Grace looked concerned. "You're fine on a scooter, but Leon's riding one too?" Olivia stared at Grace. "Yeah, otherwise what? You want him to take a taxi and me to follow along on a scooter? Can you bear to see that?" "Well, of course I can," Grace said. Olivia huffed and rolled her eyes at her. Seeing that the two girls were ready to head home, I pulled Olivia to rent a scooter, and we left. As we passed Grace and Mia, we waved at them. Grace watched our retreating backs and murmured, "How is it possible that Leon is so handsome, and yet so down to earth? I really like him." Mia nodded. "Yeah, Leon is really respectful to girls. He's a very polite guy." Then Mia thought of something and linked arms with Grace. I asked Olivia, "They're not dating. If you like him, go for it. With Olivia around, we have a good chance." "Really? They're not a couple? That's great. I've liked Leon for a while. I saw him eating with Olivia that day and thought they were together. I thought I had no chance. This is so great. I'm so happy." Just as Grace was immersed in joy, Mia said casually, "Grace, don't get too excited. They might not be together now, but that doesn't mean they won't be later." Grace wilted at that. "Don't be so harsh on me." Meanwhile, Sophia, who was about to get into her car, watched Leon's departing figure and thought to herself, Leon seems to only care about Olivia. Apart from Olivia, no one else catches his attention, and his playfulness and affection only show when he's with Olivia. Does he like her? A wave of unexplained bitterness washed over her, and she couldn't understand why she felt this way. She pushed the thought aside. I was completely unaware of all this. Finally, around 8 in the evening, we arrived home. We parted ways at the elevator. As soon as I opened the door, a cow cat jumped into my arms. I hugged the cat and buried my face in its fur. Then I saw my little niece Emma, her hair in pigtails, toddling over. She saw me holding the cat and stomped her foot angrily. The housekeeper came out and smiled when she saw me. "Leon, you're back. No wonder Emma's so excited. Sit down and rest. Dinner will be ready soon." "Lily, don't worry about me," I said. She nodded and went back to the kitchen. I put the cat, Oreo, down and picked up the sulking little girl. She wrapped her arms around my neck contentedly. I gently touched her head and asked softly, "Did you miss me, Emma?" "Yes." "Emma missed Uncle Leon so much," her sweet little voice said. Then she shyly buried her face in my shoulder. "Emma is the daughter of my sister Selena and her husband Ryan, born 2 years ago. Selena works at an investment firm, managing people's money. Ryan is an agent at Shengyao Entertainment, with a couple of B-list or C-list artists under him." Hearing her answer, I smiled and carried Emma to the living room sofa. Oreo followed, insisting on curling up by my leg, so I reached down to pet her head. Then I asked, "Have you been good these days, Emma? Eating properly?" Yes, I ate lots and lots of food. I've been a good girl, she replied. Good girl. Emma is the best, isn't she? Of course. But Uncle, Mommy was really mean, she said, seizing the chance to tattle. I laughed. Why was Mommy mean to you? She hesitated, then finally said, because I wouldn't eat my veggies. I don't like veggies. Mommy got mad at me. That's okay. You don't have to eat them, I said. Soon, Lily set the table and called us to eat. As we were eating, I heard the door open. I looked up and saw a tall, fair-skinned woman standing at the entrance smiling at me. Selena, you're back. I missed you. Selena patted my shoulder and smiled. Leon, I miss you too. Go wash your hands first. You came just in time. Selena nodded, washed up, and sat at the table, taking the small bowl from my hands. She asked, while eating, Leon, how are you adjusting to the new school? I took a bite of chicken wings and replied, pretty well. Nothing special. Selena teased. Oh really? No campus F4 or anything? I looked at her, exasperated. Selena, did you hear some crazy plot from Ryan again? Selena replied seriously. Isn't that how campus novels always go? Campus F4. You like me. I secretly love you. You sabotage him. He runs. She chases. They both fly away. I sighed and thought to myself, Ryan has really corrupted my sister. Since Ryan is an entertainment agent, he often has to pick scripts for his artists and reads all kinds of them. His imagination is very active. After reading so many novels, and then thinking about his handsome younger brother going to an elite university, he couldn't help but worry more. He hadn't slept well all week, tossing and turning. How could he study properly in a school like that? Would Leon get dragged into all kinds of messy situations? I didn't want Leon to transfer in the first place. I argued with Ryan about it several times. But the moment they heard the word scholarship, those two siblings were sold. Their eyes were wide as saucers, and they even said things like, it's just like a money tree. I really had to hand it to Ryan's wild imagination, I said to Selena. Selena, you're overthinking it. I just study and exercise every day. Nothing else happens. And all those crazy plots you mentioned don't exist. Hearing this, Selena relaxed. Really? Well, that's a relief. Then she got a mischievous look. But Leon, if there is a girl you like, you could consider it. You're in college now. It's okay to date. I'm pretty open-minded about that. I blushed. I don't have anyone. I'm not dating. It sounds so boring. What's the point of being all lovey-dovey with a girl? Selena didn't say anything, just gave me a knowing smile. Her look made me uncomfortable, so I angrily grabbed a chicken foot and put it in her bowl. She looked at the chicken foot, and just as she was about to complain, I said, no wasting food. We have to set a good example for Emma. She's watching. Selena looked at Emma, sighed, and reluctantly ate the chicken foot. Emma learns by watching too, you know. Oh, by the way, Selena, I'm going to the library with Olivia tomorrow, I said. Selena was surprised. Why not study at home? I took a sip of porridge and explained, I have a classmate at the university who needs to lose weight. I'm afraid she'll overeat on the weekend, so I'm taking her out to study and exercise. Selena nodded. I've always supported your weight loss business, Leon, but why are you so obsessed with money? Who do you take after? She thought for a moment, then realized, wait, Leon takes after me. Even though I don't think it's a bad thing, I do send him money every month, and he makes a decent amount from his part-time jobs. So why is he still so stingy with his money? She came back to the present and said, you do what you need to do. As long as Olivia's with you, I feel safe. Just remember your priorities. We don't need you to make money right now. Have a little faith in me, Selena, I said. Meanwhile, Ava had returned home after school and received a warm welcome from her family. Although a bit nervous, she was genuinely happy inside. It's been fine. No one's bullied me. Don't worry, she replied. You look thinner, sweetie. I was a little hesitant when they recommended Leon, but after just a week, you've already lost weight. Actually, I've only lost like 2 pounds. It's basically the same as before. Is this just a mom thing? No matter what I look like, my mom always thinks I've lost weight. They said Leon has experience, that he's helped several chubby classmates before, with good results. We wanted to book him over the summer, but he was already fully booked. Who knew he'd end up as an exchange student at your school? What a coincidence. We're so lucky. After saying this, Wendy looked at Ava lovingly and thought, Ava has always been a gentle, introverted child. She was thin as a kid. But after spending a summer at her grandparents' house, she came back a little chubby. I wasn't paying enough attention back then, and by the time I realized it, it was out of control. Luckily, Now with Leon's supervision, she's already lost weight in less than a week. In a while, she'll be a real beauty. Ava was afraid of failing again, and didn't want to give her mom too much hope, so she said, "This time might not work out either. Even if it doesn't, Mom, don't blame him. It's my own fault." "Don't worry, sweetie. It's like paying for a gym membership. Whether you go or not is up to you. I won't blame him. I know you can do it." Ava nodded. "All right, I'll head upstairs now." Wendy waved her off. Go. Get some rest." Ava took a shower in her room and lay comfortably on the bed, playing with her phone for a while. Feeling a bit hungry, she got up to find a snack, but her snack drawer was completely empty. She sighed and went downstairs to get a drink from the kitchen. When she opened the fridge, she was stunned. Only milk, yogurt, and yogurt bars were left. She shuffled away from the kitchen and back to the living room. With a deep sigh, she asked, "Mom, all the chocolate and snacks in my room are gone. Did you take them?" Wendy nodded. "Leon told me. He's in charge at school, and I'm in charge at home. The snacks are gone, but I bought you some yogurt bars. They're sweet and sour and really good. If you're craving snacks, have those. But don't eat too many." Ava felt a bit down. "I've been good for a whole week. Can't I have just one treat? I've been so tired this week too." Around 9 in the evening, I ate dinner, took a comfortable shower, and suddenly thought of Ava. I video called her, and the startled Ava nearly dropped her phone. Seeing the WeChat video invitation, she nervously didn't know whether to answer. She thought for a moment, then quickly changed out of her pajamas, put on a t-shirt, and brushed her hair in front of the mirror. I frowned and ended the call, then sent a message. "Ava, are you busy?" Meanwhile, Ava tidied her messy desk, pulled out her homework, and arranged it neatly. Only then did she reply, "I was just taking a shower. What's up?" I replied, "Ava, you haven't completed your daily workout yet. Oh, come on. I finally get a break. Can't I just rest?" "I'll do the exercise in a bit," she said. I thought for a moment. "Don't wait. If you're free now, start exercising. I'm afraid you'll keep putting it off and forget. Let's video call, and I'll supervise your workout." Ava was floored when she saw this message. "You want a video call? That's not necessary. I can exercise on my own." I firmly replied, "Until you form good habits, it's necessary for me to supervise you. So don't try to slack off." Though a bit reluctant, Ava obediently sent a video request. As soon as the video connected, she saw a handsome face and heard a deep voice. "Ava, can you see me?" Ava felt uncomfortable seeing herself on the screen, feeling even more insecure. Still, she forced a smile and said, "I can see you. Wait a moment, I need to change my shoes and go to the gym." I nodded. She changed her shoes, grabbed her phone, and left her room. Her sister Winnie was sitting in the living room reading a magazine. She glanced at her and casually asked, "Ava, it's almost 8:30. Where are you going?" Ava looked at her sister's elegant profile, her perfect figure, and her phoenix eyes that seemed to smile as she looked at her. She suddenly remembered attending banquets in the past where people would flatter and praise her sister for her talent and beauty, but when it came to her, all they could say was that she looked well-fed. She wasn't stupid. She knew they were just being polite. Eventually, she stopped going to banquets because the contrast was too stark, and she didn't want to embarrass herself. She came back to the present and shook her head. "I'm not going out. I'm going to the gym." Winnie was surprised. Ava usually needed to be coaxed into exercising, but today she was so proactive. Every time she went to the gym, she'd lose patience in less than 10 minutes. "Only if I go with her can I get her to last another 5 or 6 minutes. Maybe I should go with her so she'll stick with it longer," she said. "Ava, do you want me to come with you?" Ava quickly shook her head. No. She didn't want Leon to meet her sister, or else Leon would stop noticing her. She'd wait until she and Leon were closer before introducing her. "Sorry, sis," she thought. Winnie nodded and didn't push. "All right, go ahead." "Good luck, Ava." Arriving at the gym, Ava said, "Okay, I'm starting." She began her usual workout. I stayed quiet on the other end, just glancing at my phone occasionally. After about an hour and a half of exercise, she wiped her sweat and sat down lazily on the treadmill, thinking, today's workout has definitely been enough. He watched me the whole time, so I didn't want to disappoint him. I actually did a solid hour and a half. An hour and a half. I usually only do 10 minutes. Even a god couldn't find fault with that now. I looked up and suddenly said, "Ava, how about another half hour on the treadmill?" Her eyes widened in disbelief. Is he crazy? I've already done an hour and a half today. Not only did he not praise me, but he wants me to do another half hour? Demon. He's a demon. I know you've done a lot already, but that just burns off today's calories. If you can do another half hour, you'll be that much closer to your goal. Don't you want to lose weight? Seeing her waver, I pressed on. Every workout is about pushing through when you're most tired. That's what really works. You can handle another half hour, can't you? This is nothing for you. She took a deep breath. Fine. Let me rest for 5 minutes, then I'll do another half hour. With my encouragement, she ran another half hour. Before ending the video, I reminded her, "Don't forget our outing tomorrow. Don't sleep in." She mumbled a tired reply and shuffled out of the gym. The next morning, I woke up at 8, put on a simple sweatshirt and jeans, and added a cap. Admiring myself in the mirror, I thought, I've got natural good looks. A little grooming and I'm perfect. After all, I'm the extremely good-looking villainous male lead. If I weren't handsome, how could I compete with the male lead? Oh well, I'm just too good-looking. After admiring myself, I went downstairs to meet Olivia. Around 9:50, we arrived at the city library and sat down on the second floor. Olivia even posted 2 photos on her Moments captioned, "Wanted to sleep in on Saturday, but got dragged to the library to absorb knowledge. I'm just a poor soul." Soon after, Ava arrived. The 3 of us read at the library for a while, then found a place for lunch. Ava had learned her lesson and didn't order too much. Afraid I'd take her food. I looked at her fish in sour soup and smiled, not saying anything. She probably thought I'd take her food again, but today I did the opposite and let her eat her fill. She'll have to work it off tonight anyway. The extra calories will have to be burned off. I chuckled and said, "We'll read until 6, then go to the gym and work out until about 8, then head home. How does that sound?" "There's a gym here too?" she asked. "Yeah, this is the one where you have your membership," I replied. Ava nodded. "I'm going to have to exercise no matter where I am. I can't escape it, so it doesn't matter." Then Olivia asked, "By the way, Ava, did you sneak any snacks last night?" "No. You guys know my mom took everything away. She even cleared out the chocolate in my room. It's all gone." I laughed at her complaint. "If you want a snack, have some fruit cut up with yogurt. That's tasty too. But don't eat too much. Oh, and if you want a drink, milk or yogurt is fine. When you get tired of those, you can move on to tea. It's healthy and tastes good." Ava rolled her eyes in exasperation. "I'm only in my 20s. I'm not at the tea drinking stage yet. That's just weird." "Not really. Anyone can drink tea. I like it. You're just not used to it yet," I said. After lunch, we went back to the library. It was 4 in the afternoon when I finally saw her post on Moments. That's because Olivia whispered to me, "Leon, my friends are at the Tianchen Club nearby. Want to join them later?" "How do your friends know you're here?" I asked. I posted on Moments, and they asked where I was. I said, the city library, and coincidentally they were nearby too, so they wanted to hang out later. Olivia pulled out her phone and showed me the comments on her post. There were quite a few, many from our mutual friends. "Which friends specifically, Olivia? Do I know them?" "Yeah, you do. It's Mia and Grace." "Wait, Olivia, you've only known Mia for a week, and you're already this close? You went shopping yesterday and meeting up again today?" I thought Mia was picky about friends. This doesn't seem right. To be safe, I asked, "Olivia, how did you get so close to Mia? You never mentioned it before." "We just got close recently. We're roommates, and we play games together. She's actually really nice once you get to know her." "You two are roommates?" I said a little too loudly. Olivia and Ava were startled. I smiled apologetically to calm them down. Then Olivia said, "Yeah, we're in the same dorm." "Why, is that weird? Leon, do you not like Mia?" "That's strange. Why is Leon reacting so strongly to me sharing a dorm with Mia? Did Mia do something to make him dislike her? They hardly have any interactions." "Weird." Olivia looked at me, confused. I said, No, it's nothing to do with Mia. We don't know each other. I'm just surprised. Mia and Sophia have the best relationship. They should be roommates. How could they be in the same dorm with you?" "Oh, that. Mia was originally Sophia's roommate, but Sophia doesn't like sharing a dorm with anyone, so Mia moved into our dorm. Then she changed the subject. So, Leon, do you want to go to the club together? Let's go. Come with me." While she was talking, she looked at me with expectation. I hesitated for a moment. It's just a casual encounter in the library. The club won't force any boys and girls to be together. Today's study and exercise tasks are all well arranged. It's okay to delay for a while. "Okay, but we can only stay in the club for half an hour," I said. Ava heard the word club. She subconsciously unzipped her school bag. She whispered in a low voice, "Can I not go? There are too many people there. I'm not used to lively occasions." Olivia immediately let go of me. She held Ava's arm and comforted her. Don't worry. Let's sit in the corner and chat. Don't talk to strangers. I won't force you to socialize. Ava hesitated for a moment and nodded. The three of us packed up our books and walked to the club together. As soon as we opened the door, Mia and Grace were sitting by the window. They saw us and greeted us immediately. On the single sofa not far away, Sophia sat quietly with a cup of warm water. Grace saw me and her ears turned red. She quickly stood up and said hello. Mia was generous and took the initiative to move aside, giving us a vacant seat. We had just sat down for a few minutes when Abby and several female classmates came in together. At a glance, they noticed us. They walked over and started talking. Senior, you're here too, Abby said. I was gentle with her, but my attitude was clearly one of refusal. Abby, I'm so sorry. All my energy is focused on supervising Ava's weight loss. I don't have time to take care of others. This time, Abby was not as weak and persistent as last time. I see. I was too persistent before. I always wanted to interrupt you. Later, I plan to find a professional fitness coach to train systematically. I won't bother you again. During the chat, Mia explained to me the misunderstanding from the past. I saw you protect Olivia all the time. We all thought you were a couple. I encouraged Grace to take the initiative to approach you. If you feel uncomfortable, I apologize to you. I'm sorry. Don't worry. Olivia and I grew up together. We are like family, I said. After hearing what I said, Sophia felt relieved. She took the initiative to speak up. I always wanted to apologize to you. I rushed forward to block the ball and ended up hurting your palm and knee. You suffered a lot. It's over. It's just a little injury, I said. The sky slowly filled with sunset. I stood up and greeted everyone. It's getting late. We'll go back first. See you another day. After that, I took Olivia and left. The two of us swept a shared electric scooter and rode home. Speaking of which, Cole, who used to always bother you, has rarely been involved in gossip lately. He saw me studying in the library every day and had long since given up on the idea of competing with me for the title of school heartthrob. After a while, we met again. Abby took the initiative to come forward and talk to us. I have been following a professional trainer for a while now. I also learned fashion design on the side. I plan to study abroad after graduation. I've been sticking to my diet for half a year. I cut out heavy oil and sugar. My weight has slowly dropped. I also made a lot of friends. Some time ago, I got accepted into a nutrition program on a special scholarship. Sophia hugged a roll of paintings and spoke gently. Not long ago, I won the gold medal in the National Youth Art Competition. All the gossip on campus has died down. I live a very comfortable life now. Olivia jingled the new hair ties on her wrist and handed me a proposal. We just won the first prize scholarship together this time. You've made a lot of money from your part-time weight loss coaching. Why don't we open a light meal and fitness studio together after graduation? Seeing how happy everyone was, I also felt genuinely happy. Then one weekend afternoon, Ava held up her admission letter high and smiled at me. Leon, look. This is my acceptance letter. If you hadn't strictly supervised me back then, I would still be trapped in my insecurities. But I finally found a goal that I want to stick with for the rest of my life. Olivia placed the studio proposal in my palm and looked at me with expectation. Let's open a shop together in the future to help more students like Ava, who lack confidence, find their confidence back. Okay? I slowly looked around at everyone around me. My heart felt stable and warm. I spoke softly. Okay. All the old misunderstandings between us melted away. Everyone was chasing their dreams. Those who had taken the wrong path turned back in time. All the kind-hearted people got what they deserved. The gentle sunlight fell on everyone. I nodded gently, and everyone exchanged smiles.